Okay, guys, we're gonna go over our trades today. Today we took a trade, just one trade on KCAC. Unfortunately, it was a red. It is a red day. The way I traded it, I'm not very happy with the way I traded it. My discipline was not on point. I knew my stop and I did not obey my stop. Basically, I decided to keep holding and hoping, and that's definitely not a way you want to trade. Which is today is an important lesson, basically a lesson that I already knew, but I decided to break it. And then whenever I had the opportunity to get out pretty close to break even, I decided to continue to hold and hope for the bigger move, which is really not a good strategy in my opinion. To do this for long term. So we'll jump into the 5 minute chart and we'll see how we traded it. Okay, so we can see that yesterday this stock was making a big move, and this stock is very, very tricky. Of course, I ran out of buying power, or else I probably would have traded again because now, I mean, it's doing the same thing as it was doing yesterday. And yesterday it took me 2 tries, and on the third time, I was finally green, and I was able to capture some nice profit. Um, so yesterday was choppy, and I should have known better that it was going to do the same thing today. And out of the gates, it made a very nice move, and I was watching it, but I hesitated to get in. Which, if I would have got in, it would have been a very nice move. Um, which that never fails. I was watching for this little flush, and I saw the bottom. I was like, well, this thing's down here at the low. It's probably not a bad idea to jump in here, for the squeeze over the whole dollar. Yeah, definitely got that from 22.50 all the way up to 23.85. So over $1 per share squeeze. Here another pullback. I was also watching this here 23.25. You get in here for the 20 break of 23.25. The low is 22.90. So you get in 23.25. You're risking about 30 cents, 35 cents. And definitely you got your profit to loss ratio here from 23.25 all the way up to 25.75. Very nice move right there. I again hesitated on that. So this right here was a potential entry on this little flush for the pop up, and then we had a pullback. So this was another potential entry here for a micro pull 1 minute candle to make a new high, all the way up here. And this was a false breakout here. You had this little pullback of 24.90. It hit a high of 25.10 on this candle. It could not hold. So that right there is an indication of weakness. So this stock is very interesting because this stock was respecting the chart. It respected the chart levels. You had VWAP, this orange dotted line. You had your 1 minute pullbacks, your false breakouts, and then your break of VWAPs, and then tap of VWAP. So it was on point as far as respecting the chart. I think my exit was based on, well, we'll get to that in a little bit. So here it was a false breakout. So once we get a false breakout, usually you get a pretty strong flush. So 24.50 is the low of that candle. Came all the way down to 23.83. So over 50-cent drop, about 80-cent drop there. And then here we had a little pullback. So what you get here is a bottom bounce, right? So you get a little bottom bounce, but most of the time this is a bear flag. So you get the flush, the pullback, and then the bounce, and then usually this candle does not hold. It comes down, it fails. So that's what happened. It came down to VWAP. So I was watching this, I was like, okay, well, this is pretty extended to the downside. I should have recognized that it was too extended. Basically, it was just weak at this point. Maybe if it would have came down to around this level here and held the support of this candle for a move higher potentially, but this basically gave up all its gains. So that right there should have told me that, hey, this thing is too weak, don't get in it. But decided to give it a try for the type of VWAP, because we have been seeing some of these stocks that hold VWAP pretty nicely. So this is what I was looking at whenever I got in. I was like, okay, well, here's VWAP. VWAP is at 23.33, so I'm gonna try to get in around this level. Don't want to get in no higher than 23.50. I think I punched the order around 23.40, and I got filled at 23.49, like right up there, right below the $0.50. So my stop was basically VWAP, which was 33. Definitely didn't want it to break the whole dollar. The low of this candle was 23.23. So right there, it's a 30-cent stop. All right. So if it doesn't work, I'm out. On the next candle, I get out 30 cents a loss. Potential profit is, 80 cents a profit. So 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1 profit to loss ratio. But what did I do? I held this thing. So I knew where my stop was, 23.23. If I was following my rules, I knew where my stop was, right here. Okay, boom, on this candle drops all the way down to 22.18. So over $1 per share flush. And I mean, this happened super fast. This was not something that it happened in a matter of minutes. This happened in seconds. Super extreme flush. So it broke several support levels. It broke this support level here, 22.90, the whole dollar. So 22.90, this right here is support level, and then your whole dollar is another support level, and then your VWAP is another support level, and then this candle is another support level. So it broke all the support levels that it had. It was just weak. But what did I do? I held it. What else did I do? I added to my position. Down here, I did add at the very bottom. There I got filled like at 22.30. The bottom was 22.18, so pretty close to the bottom. And so this here, yeah, you did get a bounce up to 22.77. My average was like 22.90. So I was stubborn. I was like, I want this to go green. I don't want to sell break even or for a small loss. If I would have sold down here at this during this pop, it would have been a 20, like a 20. It was like I don't want to say how much dollar wise, but it was gonna be like a 10-cent loss, which is definitely not bad. So, but to me, what this was looking like was okay. So it made this candle here. This is a pretty extreme flush. Most likely, this is gonna make a candle to make a new high, break this 22.75 level, and come up to 23.25. That would have been I would have been in the green about maybe 40 cents, 40 cents a profit. Really not what I expected, because you never want to average going down. You want to average going up. Add to your position as the stock's going up. Increase your profits. Whenever you do this, you average down. You're basically increasing your loss. Maximizing on your loss. So what I was watching here was a candle to make a new high, break this level 22.75, come up here to 23.25. Next candle, nope, it didn't. It broke this support level of 22.10, came down to 21.80, I believe. Yeah, 21.80. So I'm like, God dang it. So that's, it broke the $22 mark, which is support. I'm like, man, this thing is just, and I haven't sold yet. So I'm in this too deep basically to just stop out down here at the lows. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna just hang on tight. I'm already in it. Might as well sit it through. My correct stop was up here, 30 cents away from my entry. Now I'm down from 23.50 down to 22 bucks. So over $1 per share of a loss. That's horrible. So this candle came all the way back up to 22.65, so 20 cents away from my entry. My average entry, it just could not get to that level. So basically I wanted it to get up here around. I wanted to get up there so I could be break even. I really wanted to hit VWAP so I could be in the green, but it was just kind of not doing it here. So to me, so at this point, I was trading based off the chart. I really wasn't looking too much at the level 2 because the price action, because whenever you're just in it this far in the trade, the level 2 doesn't really matter at this point to me. I'm basically trading the chart. So here, this right here was a false breakout. 22.48. It hit a high of 22.65. and it closed down here. So this to me tells me, okay, well, if it breaks this level, if it breaks 2212, this is support, it's gonna come down to 2180, and it might find support at 2180. It might not. It might continue to go lower. So could I have held an extra 20 cents from that stop? Yeah, potentially, but usually when it breaks this bottom support, it flushes down hard, like 50 cents, 75 cents, or $1. So I just didn't want to lose an extra dollar. So what it does next, comes down, it does break that support level of 2212. I was like, God dang it. And then I saw that it was coming. It came down to 22, and I sold at 22. It came down to 2188. So I was like, okay, well, good thing that I sold, because this thing was going to keep going down. But what it did next was it came right back up. So this was a false breakdown. It was a false breakdown. It might have captured some shorts, trapped some shorts. So this thing came all the way back up to 2283 in this one candle. So, basically like a whole dollar per share in one candle. The next candle, so that's that one, right? The next one, it breaks that high. It makes a move up to VWAP 2316. Pathetic, right? That's exactly what I was looking for. But I was looking for this move over here. I was expecting that it was gonna make that move here in this candle, instead of 6 candles down the road. So I don't know. I guess I was already in it. I could have been a little bit more patient and just waited. If it would have held the support, I mean, an extra 30 cents, 20, 30 cents of a loss, it wouldn't have killed me. But at least I followed my rules here, because this right here, if you look at it, it's definitely a bear flag. This was one of those moves that it just catches you off guard. It traps short. So here it trapped, I wouldn't say it trapped long traders. I just got in too aggressively here. But here it trapped short sellers. This is a bear flag. It comes down, pops up for a little bit short covering, and then on this candle it makes a new low. You get another flush down, and that's what it was setting up for. That's why I got out right here where I did, because of this little potential flush. But it held this level and it squeezed up, and then on this candle it's just, so that was my goal here, hitting VWAP, this orange dotted line, 23 at $23, 23.13. So I would have been, green maybe 25, 30 cents, which is not, again, not what I wanted. Well, yeah, I guess that is what I wanted, but I wanted it here closer to my entry levels. And so here it tapped this level, and then it just faded off of that. It just faded. You see, so here it's like, okay, well, it faded, that it hit that level and it faded. It's weak. You do have support down here at 2180, but it's weak. You don't really want to buy this stock. And it comes down to that support level, as you can see here, and boom, out of nowhere, it just pops all the way up to 2368. Ridiculous, right? 2370. And here it's just kind of riding that VWAP level. And then right now it's squeezing up. This stock is just all over the place. Very, very similar to yesterday's, the way it was trading yesterday. But I don't know, lessons learned today. I guess, I am pretty in the red, nasty in the red. Lessons learned though, I would say, if it gives up all of its profit on, basically this setup, this is what the 5-minute candle looked like. This was my entry, this was my another entry, my exit. You can't really see it on the chart on the 5-minute. It's more clean on the 1-minute chart, but on the 5-minute chart you had this huge red candle. So I got in way down here, which is a little bit high above from VWAP. I guess I could have waited a little bit more, but that right there just shows extreme weakness. Maybe, again, lessons learned is, if the stock gives up a majority, over 50% of its profit or gains, don't take the trade for the bottom bounce. Just let it go. because that would have saved me from this loss. Um, Another lesson learned is, follow your rules. My rules is follow your stops and don't trade off of hope. All right, so today is the last trading day right before the holiday. So usually today's either they're super hot or super cold. Today was one of those cold days, I would say. Not very clean action. We'll be back at it Tuesday morning.